Esposito Professional Services. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and just check out my link below. Go to my website and fill out a form for a quote. So yesterday we discussed prospecting and how it could be fun. So what we discussed was going out and setting a goal of maybe meeting 10 prospects and going out and just doing it. Not taking too much time to try to develop a plan and map out an area and find out who the person is that you need to speak to. Just going and doing it. Prospecting can be made fun. And I really, truly mean that, and I said that yesterday to you guys, that it could be made fun. And this is how. You go out, you set your goal, and you achieve it. And while you're doing it, you're meeting new people. Set your goal and set your mindset to maybe go out and just meet new people. It doesn't mean you have to close a sale. Remember, you're prospecting. You're trying to find out if you can sell them, but you're also trying to find out if you want to work with them. So what you're doing is you're going in there, you're introducing yourself, but you're also meeting them for the first time. And you're trying to assess, hey, is this somebody I want to do business with down the road? Now, us as salespeople, we have goals and we have quotas, and pretty much our livelihood depends on our sales. So we think that every door we walk into, we want to be able to pitch and sell. And that's true to an extent. And we are able to mold and adapt to different personalities and be able to make a sale. However, you as a salesperson should have the confidence to know that you will get that sale that you need. So you don't need to be desperate and go into places, well, go into places, but you don't need to be desperate and work with people that you don't desire to work with. You need to go out and meet people that you want to work with down the road. That, as I said yesterday, we discussed between a customer and a client. So somebody that you may not want to work with might just be a customer. They buy it from you one time, all right, the headache's over, you don't have to deal with them ever again. But if you're trying to turn somebody into a client, if you're trying to have an ongoing relationship with them where you're making multiple sales throughout this relationship, or you're also speaking with them on a regular basis, then if it's going to be a client, you're going to want it to be somebody that you enjoy working with. And sure, look, every client is not a joy to work with. However, what you can feel from that client is some appreciation for the work that you're doing. So you might have a client right now that you're thinking of, or you might have a prospect right now that you're thinking of, that you're saying, you know, I don't know if we're going to mesh, but I do need to make the sale to this person, or, you know, I would like to gain their business. However, you can mesh because you might see that, hey, look, our personalities are different, but I know that if I put in the time and the effort and give this person what they need, they're going to appreciate it, and they're going to show that appreciation by paying their bill, or just by even acknowledging you as, hey, you're a great salesperson. Now do this for me. You know, that's typically how it turns out. Let's get back to prospecting. So when you're walking in these doors, remember that for the first time, they're meeting you for the first time, and you're meeting them for the first time. So just as they're making an assessment and a judgment based off of you walking through the door, you're also doing the same for them. Now you might be meeting their gatekeeper, receptionist, whatever it may be. You're also making an assessment based on how that business is operated. When you're meeting a gatekeeper, those gatekeepers have been conditioned and trained to treat you a certain way. And who have they been trained by? They've been trained by the business owner. They've been trained by the decision maker. And so if that person, that gatekeeper is rude to you, then obviously the business owner, and this isn't always the case, but most likely the business owner might be the same way. And you might not want to deal with that business owner. So, you know, take that into account, is that, you know, if you have a rude receptionist or a rude gatekeeper, you know what? This might not be the business to be working with for you, and you might need to move on to maybe a much nicer, softer person. Sometimes it's quite the opposite. Sometimes you get a really great receptionist, a really great gatekeeper who's really, really nice and sweet and very willing to give information, and then you meet the business owner and they're the complete opposite. And sometimes there's a reason for that. And I'll also say the same thing in terms of the rude receptionist. Sometimes it's because the owner's too soft, and so he needs his receptionist to be hard. And sometimes it's because the owner's too hard, and he needs his receptionist to be soft. And also, let's, like I said, we're all young professionals, and I'm sure there's a lot of males watching this, but there's also a lot of females. And I know a lot of female business owners. In fact, a lot of the business I write is with female business owners. So I'm not leaving you out. I know I said him and he a lot, but I'm not leaving you out, girls and women. So let's get back to these business owners and their gatekeepers. So just remember that you might meet a rude gatekeeper, and like I said, I believe a lot of times a rude gatekeeper is typically a little bit of a mirror image of the owner, but that's not always the case. So remember, is this the type of business that I want to work with? Is this the establishment that I want to work with? So for me, for instance, I sell insurance, and I deal with commercial insurance, and then I move on to the personal lines of home and auto. But here's an example for you. I enjoy going out to eat. No surprise, I think most of us do. That's why restaurants do well. But this is what I'm trying to get at, is I enjoy going out to eat. And I enjoy going to a restaurant and knowing what kind of service and what kind of food and what kind of environment I'm stepping into before I even go in there. So one of the things I do enjoy cold calling, one of the places I enjoy cold calling,